Hey guys, welcome back to Wamu's world. Oh my God, and my mom's calling. I'll have to probably talk to her later. Okay, I just hit. Oh, I don't like hitting ignore on my mom, but uh, I might have to. Okay, so I had to hit ignore, but I will get back to her after this video. So yeah, haven't seen you guys since pretty much the New Year's, and I told you that I would come back and I would do a video like after my whole detox thing, which we'll get into. But I do want to thank all of my old, new, recent subscribers. Thanks for the support. Thank you, for when it comes to like giving me ideas or like sending me stuff. Thank you for that. But yeah, let's get into it. But I did want to talk about something. So it was funny because today, my sister, she was telling me that I do this thing, and I, if I'm one of those, if I've been around you and you feel that I do this sometimes, just let me know. Like my good friends, just let me know because I didn't even realize like I really do that. Um, um, that's one. That's one thing I say a lot. I had somebody tell me that's what I say every time I do the show. Like I start the show, I'm like, "Welcome to Wamu's World." So yeah, I know I say that a lot. I think for me, is like it's like a way to gather my thoughts, like in my head, like so I understand. It kind of like calms me down, like like it's kind of like the same thing. It's like it has the same effect. So that's why I do that all the time. But there's another few phrases that my sister says I do all the time if I'm not listening. And I'm like, no, 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 no. I am listening. It's just that sometimes, like, it's just a quick thing that I say while I'm processing what you're telling me. And like, some people I'm really serious about that. Like, I am actually listening. Um, but I say it a lot. Like, here are some of the phrases. Gotcha. Like I say it, like when someone will talk, I'll be like, gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, I do that a lot at work. Like, gotcha. Um, it doesn't mean I'm not listening. It's just I say gotcha. That's true. I say that a lot. That's true. I know. I can't. I know. I say that a lot. I can't. Like I say that a lot. And I do that a lot too. So I don't know. I just like randomly wanted to talk about like if I ever do that, it's not that I'm not listening. It's just that's something I usually say when I'm trying to process what you're saying. But I am listening, and I'm a multitasker. Like I'm one of those people that I can be listening to you and listening to another person and be like thinking about my thoughts all at the same time. And that's just something that's in me. That's my personality. So yeah, but moving on. Another, sorry guys, I have a lot of random stories because I feel like I haven't talked to you in so long. But so I like where I live, there's like these cats, and I'm wearing a cat shirt, but there are these cats like, and it's funny because my sister calls them gutter cats. Like she's sorry guys, she calls them gutter cats, and they literally live like that place like or the place where the water goes. I don't think it's called a gutter, but like that place where the water goes, it just seeps. Like and yeah, so there's a cat. It's a black and white cat, and then there's a black cat. I think the black and white cat is male, and the black and white cat is a male. The black cat is a female. Um, and it's weird because like I don't think the black and white cat likes me because every time I walk past it, it like hisses at me, and I'm like, are you okay? Um, but I believe the black and white cat and the black cat, I believe they had kids. Because I saw a little baby cat without a tail, and the black cat doesn't have a tail. Like it has a short tail. Sorry, it's called a short tail. And then the little kitten, now she looks like the mom, so she only has like a short tail. Um, but I walked past them. I see them all the time, and I walked past them today. And it was funny because like I think the black cat, the mother, she got like scared of me, so she jumped into the bushes. But the little baby cat just stayed there, and I was kind of like, okay, so you just kind of left your kid hanging. I don't know. That's where my mind went. But it's just funny because we call them gutter cats. We not thundercats, gutter cats. And they're just, I don't know. I don't know. It's like the random, I don't know whether people have like, they call it like a third eye, like a third eye. Like it's where like when people may not see what you see, like like I think that I have a third eye because like there's stuff that I see because I'm pretty observant and it's like funny as shit, but like other people are so into their other shit, like they're not seeing it. I feel like sometimes I live in that world where I'm like that shit's funny, but I'm not sure whether everybody caught on to that. But anyway, I had to talk about the gutter cats. I'm sorry. Like they've been on my mind for some reason. So yeah. But anyway, let's get to the let's get to the detox, okay? Yeah. So I did start Dryanuary. It was hard as fuck, I'm not gonna lie. And it's really just and I'll be honest with you guys. Like let's get to the point. It's not that I don't consider myself a heavy drinker. I don't even consider myself really that person that like has alcohol and drinks all the time. But I do consider myself a social drinker. So when I go out and other people are drinking, okay, I'll indulge too. Or like, there's an event. You're drinking champagne, I'm gonna drink champagne. You're drinking wine, I'm gonna drink wine too. Like, you're gonna take a shot, I'll take a shot. I'm not gonna take 10, I'm just gonna take 2 shots. But what I did notice is that I live in a state. I live in a city. I live in Dallas, um, and Dallas is a place where it's very heavy on drinking, partying, living life. Really, I think that's even like kind of the Dallas attitude. Like life is short, live your life, have a good time. Like I really feel like that is kind of the feeling I get from this place. And so, on the weekends, like, it's not like, I don't want to go out or anything like that. Like, I will go out and, like, I'll go to a bar or something or, like, a comedy show or just something. And, like, of course, you have to have a beverage. Of course. You see the way I said that? But anyway, I'd say within the month of January, I probably slipped up like 3 times max. And I don't think that's bad. I don't think I should be chastised for that. But I really do believe that like it really I do want to talk to you guys about like what it kind of set in my mind, okay? Um Moderation is everything. I think my dad used to tell me that like people used to say like gluttony is a sin. It's kind of like in that sense where it's like moderation for everything. Like and it's not just alcohol, it's food, it's shopping, it's sometimes you might talk too much. I mean, you just like everything in moderation. And that's what I really got from the detox is that you don't have to do it all the time. You don't have to do it every weekend. You don't, and I never really liked or was that kind of person that did it, but I think sometimes there's like a social pressure that like it's like, okay, what else am I gonna do? But it's like you don't really have to do that all the time. Like it's not necessary. Even though I live in that kind of state where like most people they live for that on the weekends. But it's just like that's not. Be quite honest with you guys, that's not why I came here. Like I didn't come to Dallas for that. So that's why for me it was kind of like, yeah, I get it. I'm getting the culture here. Yeah, that's cool. But that's not why I came here. Like in my head, and one thing I learned about the detox is that like you just really become focused. You really become focused on like what is it that I'm trying to do. Like not no shade. Like what did I come here for? Not this, you know. And it really put in my head, this is what I came here for. I came to Dallas for a specific reason. I didn't come here to relive anything or like, I really came here for a specific purpose. And I intend to acquire what I came here for. So nothing's gonna stop me, like, not even the culture of this place and not even the lifestyle. It's not going to stop me from what I want to do. It's not even going to distract me. Like my mind is so focused on what I need to do. And yeah. And another thing, it's like I feel like there's something about feeling alive and productive. Like you can't get things done when you have a hangover. Like you can't get things done if you're just like, and like, you know what I mean? Like you have to have, I like my weekends. I like to have a good time, but I like to feel like, especially on a Saturday, I like to feel like, oh, I'm up, I'm going to do something that means something, and rather than just like on a Saturday just like like drinking all day and then just feeling like you didn't get anything accomplished. I feel like there was a time and period in my life where like that was like whatever, but I feel like where I'm at now, I not even where I'm at now, where I have been, I just feel like it's better for me to have like a Saturday where like Saturday and Sunday, honestly, both, where I just have my mind together and all that stuff. I just feel like that's necessary for me. Yeah. I also learned about, what do you call it? I hate saying diet because I like to think of the way I eat as my lifestyle. I don't like to think of it as like, oh, let me go on a diet so I can lose like 15, 20 pounds. I don't like thinking about it like that. First off, if you really are trying to lose weight, that's the wrong way to think about it, because you want to think about, how to maintain and how to live a life where you feel healthy and you are healthy and you are active, but it's a lifestyle. It's a part of your life. It's not a diet. It's not temporary. It's something that you want to do every day so that you feel like it is a part of your life. It's you have to construct it in a way where it's an everyday thing. It's not just something that I'm doing for. And granted, you can have goals. I mean, you can have goals and be like, I want to like lose this much amount of weight or whatever, and this, that, and the third. But you know, what is your lifestyle? Like, what is it? What kind of life do you lead when it comes to your fitness and your health, and what you put in your body? And so, my sis was doing some research on like different like diets that like actually, and I say the word diet, but I don't feel like it pertains to this, but I'll say because it is a particular diet, but it's really based on, it's a whole test that you take actually. It's like, I don't know how many questions, maybe like 30 questions total. Um, and you take the test, and it kind of based off your emotions, based off the way you act, based off the way you feel, based off the like your exercise level, based off, it's just a lot of different things. And it actually tells you specifically what kind of diet you're supposed to eat or what kind of lifestyle you're supposed to continue on. And so I took the test, and I think mine was, it's called Vita Pita. Is it Vita Pita diet? Okay. um and so I realized, and I read through it, and it was weird because when I started following it during my detox, I was just like, is this gonna like, what is this? And it told me like things that I should stay away from, things that I should eat, like, and it's a lot of stuff where it's like, it's really really to the point, and it really like tells you specifically like what you're supposed to eat, what you're supposed to drink. Even when it pertains to like alcohol, like it'll tell you that too. um, but one thing I did notice on my thing was that meat was very rare. Like meat is not something I should eat a lot of, and I love meat. Like I like it more, I actually really like meat. So the fact that they said no, you're just supposed to eat meat sparingly, and it's a specific type of meat, here are the specific types of meat that you're supposed to eat, but you're supposed to eat it sparingly. um, but one of the things they told me that is really really good for me is actually, I believe it was it lentils? Yeah, lentils. Okay, so it's basically mung beans. I won't say lentils is a different type of bean, but it's mung beans, which is, if you're, Kenyan, Kikuyu, whatever, dengu. It's basically dengu, but they have different types, like ones where they're split and everything like that. So I'm really supposed to be eating that, which technically I've been eating, but I think it's like now I'm really focused more on specific things, like I have more of I'm more educated about what I'm supposed to be eating and how I'm supposed to go about it, and make it a lifestyle, make it a thing, which I do every day. Um, and I'm not gonna lie to you, it's helped with my fitness. It's helped, feeling more alert. It's helped me feel like lighter and like, you know, especially when it comes to my workouts, like now I feel very like healthy, like clean and strong. So like that, I think that's something I'm going to definitely like, that's gonna be a lifestyle thing. That's something I'm gonna continue. But yeah, I wanted to tell you guys about that. Um, I've had an on and off relationship with yoga. It's like I know I need to do it, but I just don't do it. And then like some days I do it, some days I don't. Um, but I will have a stronger relationship with yoga because that's something I did do during the detox, and it was really nice. And I was like, I really enjoy this. I love. I would prefer to like wake up in the morning and do it. I just feel like that's more my speed. But I know some people like to use it to wind down, and yeah, yeah. So that's something I think I'd incorporate in my life as my lifestyle. I like to say I don't like to say words like diet and whatever, and I just like to say something to incorporate as a part of my lifestyle. Um, and sorry guys, just to throw you off, whatever. I actually went today. I went to In-N-Out Burger, and I know it matches up with nothing I just talked about health wise, but I went to In-N-Out Burger, and I have to admit, I think it's overrated completely. But I will say the one thing I do will say about it is that it's a little bit like when it comes to burgers and fries, it's a bit cleaner. Like you don't feel like it doesn't feel like you eat it and then you're like you feel like you need to sleep for like 3 days. It's not it's not one of those. But it's like it kind of feels clean. Like it doesn't feel too heavy or anything like that. And that's what I'll say about it. But there was nothing about the flavor or the like. I mean, it tasted like a burger. Like it just tasted like a burger. The fries tasted the same. I mean, they weren't as oily, which I liked, but I mean, overhyped. But I get it. But I get about the freshness. I get that part. Um, yeah, so I'd say all in all, like when it comes to detoxing, I would recommend doing it like, and it can be anything. It doesn't have to be alcohol. It can be anything that like you feel like, okay, I've eaten too much of it. It's kind of like Lent, like giving something up for Lent. But I'd say just do it a couple times in the year, and it's really just to refocus, like to refocus your thoughts and be like, okay, so what am I supposed to be doing? Am I supposed to be doing this, that, and the third? Sometimes your emotions can be all out of whack. Okay, let me get focused. This, that, and the third. And so that's why I feel like I would recommend it for a few times a year. Now, I won't be filming Wamu's World as frequently. It's not like I'm stopping, but I won't be filming as frequently. When I was doing the detox, I had a lot of thoughts about different things, and I'm not gonna speak on my ventures or whatever I'm trying to do on the side. I don't like speaking about it until it's like done. I'm one of those people where I just feel like you're going to jinx it if you talk about it, and I'd rather just keep it private and work on it and present it. Work and present. Like be about that. Be about your word. That's what I'd prefer. So not going to talk about it, but things I'm venturing into, I just feel that what I can give is like maybe once or twice a month for Wamu's World. That's all I can really give because I really need to put a lot of my focus on these next things. Does it have to do with social media? Kind of, but kind of. Yeah, kind of. I'll say that. I'll answer that question. But I just feel I need to take a moment to focus on those things. And so like I'm like I don't want to quit Wamu's World. I love Wamu's World. Wamu's World has been great for me. So I'm just gonna focus on that, but at least give you guys 1 to 2 a month. It at least give you that. But yeah, thank you guys for listening today. Yeah, please continue to like, subscribe to Wamu's World. I really appreciate everything. Comment, like, send me ideas, send me shit you want me to talk about. And I always get topics. Like, I mean, there's some messages I haven't even really read through, but like, I do look sometimes, and I'll be like, okay, that's a pretty good, yeah. So I do that sometimes. And if I didn't say Happy New Year to you guys. It's 2023. It's time to, I always told people, like, when we were in quarantine, because that's when I started Wamu's World. When I was in quarantine, I made these goals for myself, and one of them was moving to Dallas. So sometimes like when I think about it, I think about to that time, and I'm just like, wow, like I wrote that shit down, and I wasn't even in the place where I felt like I could even move, but it's almost like I just put that on paper and I was like, it's gonna happen, you know? Um, and other things, I was like, it's gonna happen. And, you know, some of those things did happen. So just like manifestation is everything. Like, it's everything. You know, people talk all day, but it's really about that. It's really about that action. It's, you know, you can be all talk and this and that and the third, and I got this, that. Like, I mean, but you know, what are you actually doing? You know, and you know, yeah. I just sometimes I sit and I ponder. I'm like, wow, like, do you guys ever do that? Like sometimes where it's like you're like, wow, I came this far. Like you were in a position, you're like, damn, how did I get that far? Like, how did I get to this place in life? How did I get out of that situation? Or like, dang, like who was I? You know, like you have to think about things like that. Sometimes you just ponder about it and you're like, and you just have to thank God that you got through some things. And I think that's like, you know, when you're having a frustrating day or like you feel anxiety or you feel depressed or you feel like you're not getting enough done or you sometimes you just have to sit, like literally sit and close your eyes, and it's going to take you back to a time where what you're stressed out about, it didn't mean anything back then. Like back then it was probably even worse. um I do that a lot. You know, if I feel some kind of way, like I will sit and close my eyes and I'll be like, you remember that time when you, and I'm like, okay, back at it. Or remember that time you got in a car accident and you almost died? Yeah, back at it. Like I just, it's like sometimes you have to tell yourself that because it's like you have to remember how far you've come. You know, I remember, I don't know which video I was watching, but there was a, I forgot who it was, someone really famous, but they were like, you know, like sometimes when you get to a level or a position, you don't even realize that you're there, and then you don't even like you're there, but you don't realize you're there, and sometimes you even forget that you got there, how you got there. And so like sometimes you have to remember, you know, where you came from, like where did it all start, you know? Because if you don't think about that, you know, you may not be thankful for where you are at the moment. You know, life is funny. I don't compare my life to anybody else. I live my life. I wouldn't say I say that I'm in competition with myself, but it's sort of like that in a sense. It's like I'm not worried what's happening with this person. I'm not worried what's happening with that person. I'm not worried about their life like that, unless you're like my good friend, um, a friend that I know and I talk to. But you can't be worried about it. You cannot be worried about other people's dramas or other people's lives or this, that, and the third. You got to be focused on you, like, and focused on. And it's not easy sometimes to just be focused on you. Sometimes you want to focus on others, but you have to focus on yourself, and you have to focus on what your goals are, what your intentions are in life. Um, and can that be a very lonely process? It absolutely can, you know? So, but you have to do what you have to do. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know how I went into that rant. You guys see how I kind of go off script. Like I write down what I'm gonna say. If you guys saw what I write down versus what I say, you'll be like, you didn't say anything that, yeah. I think when I was on radio, I used to do that a lot. Like I would write it down, like I'm gonna say this, that, and the third. And then when I get into it, I'm like, oh fuck it. And I just feel like that's just what happened. But anyway, I hope you guys have an amazing. It's almost Friday. Tomorrow's almost Friday, so I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. I still have work to do. Ugh. But I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Dallas, the weather is gorgeous. Like I mean, it's hot. It's actually hot again, which is nice. Like I was really not like. I think I hate cold weather now. I used to be like, oh yeah, I love cold weather because it was a time I wanted to move to New York, and I was like, I would. And honestly, it's crazy. Like I don't think I'd ever move to New York. Like I used to think that in my head, but like now I'm like, if the option presented itself, I mean, I'd think about it. But like at this point, I'm like, no, I'm good. But yeah, yeah, you guys have an amazing weekend. Stay woke, stay blessed. Don't get too stressed out. And yeah, and if you have any questions, DM me. If you have any questions about that like detox I was talking about, or like that special diet I was talking about, just DM me. I'll hit you up with the details with that. But yeah, you guys have an amazing weekend, and I will see you. I said once to twice a month, so hopefully another time this month. If not, I will see you in March. Bye, guys.